What's going on, guys? The world is a vampire. Okay. On our way to go bench. Yesterday was the start of a new block and a new training cycle. We are on month 4 of the off season for our powerlifting program / bodybuilding. Bodybuilding wise, we're on fucking month like 11. No, gotta beat the yellow. Made it. But still sitting around 2:30, going to bed-ish. Like around 2:30, 2:32 is around when I go to bed. Wake up between 2:28 and 2:30. Some nights are like, I'll like pull back the food some nights. It's more just carbs. I'll get the protein in, but I'll pull back the carbs / fats. Do that, and that'll put my weight at maybe like a 226. I think is the lowest I've seen in the last since I hit 230. I've been holding it pretty well. We did squats, no more tempo squats. We're moving on to just normal comp squats. I did those today with pause SSBs, and I did 515 for my RP6, and it moved really easy. Felt fairly light. Definitely, I think at this point in time, with how strong I feel fairly confident that I could have gotten that for a solid 10 to 12 reps. But like I've said before, I based my RPEs on my reps. On these reps and sets, not like top sets. I based the reps and sets RPEs based on how many more sets I could do at that many reps. And I could have done that probably 5 or 6 more times, to be honest, because it didn't feel that heavy. I will say I get a little bit of flare-ups in my hips, but nothing to write home about. Then we did RDLs. What was supposed to be hack squat machine, because I was going to trade out my belt squats for hack squats, but my gym is renovating the back room where the hack squat machine was put, so now everything is in everything in that back room is stuffed in containers outside. But we got leg press. Trying to make sure my brother doesn't come over here, ruin the video. I don't need this today. I found out it was on my secondary press day. Ah, fuck. But I will need that Friday. Just leave it in your bag. But that was distracting. Then we did that, and then I traded out, like I was saying, leg press in for the belt squats / hack squat machine. And what I just really focused on was just if I can't get the hack squat or the belt squat in to really focus on my quads, I was just going to focus on all around leg movement then and get extra hamstrings in. And I just went super deep on them. I don't know if I recorded it. I think I did. This is a day later. And I kind of just black out when I get towards the end of my workout because I'm just like just going. Then I did leg curls, and as you saw as my extracurricular, you didn't see, was I did a adduction movement. Because with all my wider stance squat and leg pressing, I really wanted to focus on the inner part of your quads. So we did that. And yeah, that was it. Like I said, squats felt really good. My overall strength, I feel really strong. I think if I hopped in a meet right now, like say this weekend there was a meet and didn't have any training into it, I'm pretty sure I would out total my PRs. But that was yesterday's lift. Nothing to write home about. Really focusing now and not doing tempos and having to really focus on the count is focusing on that top, getting that squeeze, because I'm going to get the stretch in the bottom. I'm not going to pause because that's not powerlifting. I do that on the accessory type movements. Like on my curls, what I try to do is let it down on the eccentric part, get that stretch, and then come back up and squeeze at the top. But with these, I try to squeeze on that lockout. With how many reps there are and how much weight I'm moving, I do move them quite fast though, but it's more of just the ego lifting in you. And not even ego, it's just with powerlifting, you want to move as much weight as efficiently as possible. So that's what I'm trying to do as well, on top of trying to get absolutely applejacked. Something new though that I've been doing is when I do the adduction movement with that, when you guys see me do the standing one, is I don't know if I said it before, which I'm pretty sure I didn't, or even showed it, or you could even tell in the video, is what I used to do is have my foot here and try to come across it, and kind of if here's how I'm standing, the other leg would just come in front, right? And I'm going to be in a swinging pendulum type movement through, and I would kind of be staggered step basically. But well, now what I'm doing is, so that way it comes through still in the same motion, but not overstretching it through. I have my foot parallel with each other and bringing the other leg, or whichever leg is doing the movement, to the other one on the opposite side of the little stand that they have there, that you hit the movement on. But that's about it. That's all that's really new. The leg curls are new, and the RDL on squat day is new. Doing that many hamstring movements in general is just whew, I feel it, because in reality, my hamstrings just one of the easiest muscles for me to get pumped and feel the growth. If only my arms could be the same way. But I'm going to call that, and we're about to go in and do some bench. So I'll talk to you guys about bench after I go inside and come back out. So remember, this is going to be the end for the last video, so I want you all to remember, stay juicy, twinks. So you just do bish?
Yeah.
That's all she does.
Super vanilla.
Super vanilla, doesn't swallow. Crazy how you do the grip and also become stronger. I don't even like setting up stupid shit like this. I was doing, in the last block, I was ending with 325s because it was RPE based, so I was doing it based on how I felt.
Yeah.
And I moved my grip and everything just started feeling good, so I was like, oh man, this next block, I'm going to be able to push bench. And then he wanted me to change the percentages because I'm going to start using the bench daddy. He wants me to start pushing heavier weight, and I was like, fuck.
He wants me to start holding heavier weight because he knows that with me it's all I have nerve damage. So feeling the weight helps out a lot. That's what makes sense. Slow, controlled, lots of pauses, squeezing, trying not to come. Well, you never been in a deep stretch on the leg press that says felt yourself run
Oh, Mark touches my neck.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, it's just like at home. Oh, it's cool.
There you go, good break for me.
Let me hold it. Then let's one thing or another. What are you up to jerk these from the elephants? What? What are you doing now? You don't know. Well, when they say horse cock, you wanted to try elephant cock. Stop it. You're a big round. I thought you were driving on
I was just wondering why the elephant had herpes.
Who gave the elephant herpes?
I just want to know how many elephants.
Whew, okay. So we started this recording a solid 20 miles away from the gym, doing this at I don't know, probably like halfway home, because I didn't want to sit there for God knows how many minutes just to talk about today's lift, because today's lift was pretty simple through the recording. It was just basically benching with a fly movement, because now that my program doesn't have a fly movement, I had to add one in, of course. That's how it works. Had to get that nice stretch and squeeze on the chest after hitting some heavy bench. And by heavy, as you saw, it wasn't very heavy. 275 and 255, which isn't bad, but for how it felt, I was like, man, dude, I'm starting pretty low. But we're going off of percentages. Everything's RPE based besides my normal comp day bench, which is percentage. So felt good though. Moved easy. The easiest 275 has ever moved, and I didn't even need wrist wraps or nothing. So the fly movement. Now, what I like to do on those is, if I don't have, since I didn't have cables, and there's no cables at that gym that have adjustable to where you can set them up more appropriately, I just do any variation to where it could be standing, laying, not really laying, but standing, and others versions where if you can't do seated. And what I do is the same thing I do with my incline flies. It's not so much that the incline flies themselves work on the upper chest. If I have been at an incline and I just do flies, I'm just going to hit my chest no matter what. But to really feel it at that top point, at least for me, when I feel it the most, is when I'm doing the fly movement in a certain way where I'm kind of like, it's like I'm coming over the top for like a hug on a tall person or someone as tall as me or something, where I'm like, come here. So that's kind of how the movement is. I'm coming over the top and I'm getting that squeeze, and I'm making sure I'm like pushing and squeezing so I get that squeeze at the top, but then down through the middle. And besides that, we had a seal row. The push-ups I didn't record. It was hand release push-ups, which I'm pretty sure it's just coming down, making sure I'm releasing completely, resetting, then going again. And with those, all I did was I tried to make sure that I did a slow eccentric on that stretch and really just feel that chest get pulled and feel those muscle fibers firing when I pressed. And also I did as a good way to like set up like how my bench is now that I moved my grip in from a wider grip to this closer grip. That's really it. Besides that, I did the seal rows. And since the gym I'm at doesn't really have a place to do seal rows, like a specific seal row bench, or like somewhere to really set up to lay down and do a seal row and do like a makeshift area for seal rows, what I did was I had to makeshift an incline bench, set my feet up on there, and kind of like push my chest down and get my butt up and like make sure it was like driving into my shins, not my feet. So that way I'm not driving off of like any base, which I'm still am technically with it being my shins, but it's not as much as a factor in the movement itself when I'm doing off my shins compared to if I was pushing, not pushing, but having my feet there to drive. Did that, and what I do is I kind of like, make myself flat, and then I just pull, squeeze at the top, full stretch. Cue I learned from a bodybuilder on YouTube was to make sure when I'm doing any back movements to where I'm stretching and contracting, which is all back movements, you're always pulling in some type of motion, or I'm stretching. or both. Most of the time it is both. Most of the time you're coming from a stretching and you're contracting, which is technically the same for all movements in general. Like, there's not very, I can't even think of a movement where you're not stretching and contracting at some point. Muscles are meant to stretch and contract. So that was a tangent on basically a backwards way of saying I stretched and contracted my back. And on the stretch, though, you don't want to overstretch and kind of just like pull yourself out of the motion, because then all you're doing is basically resetting. So when I stretch, yeah, I might round my shoulders a bit, but I'm not rounding my back, so I have to reset my back in and squeeze again. You can have your back in a set position and still stretch the lats and back. You don't have to come all the way over the top. You can let your shoulders come, get those lats stretched. I mean, if you feel it, though, more doing an over-exaggerated stretch, that's fine as well. I'm just giving my 2 cents on how I do it and how I've grown my back. So take it how you will. Driving home right now. About probably another 10 minutes out. I don't know if I really have anything to talk to you guys about, really. In terms of lifting wise, I'm just thinking about maybe doing a meet in October, but it wouldn't be like a prepping for meet. It would be like a meet where I just go in, not half-assed. I would have been trained, but I don't want to be prepped. I just want to be in my volume training and kind of go in and see what my second attempts would be at this point in my strength without being peaked. I feel like with my second attempts alone, I could outdo any total I've ever done before. Oh man, I've been yawning constantly. Feeling tired. Hungry and tired too on top of that. Not just tired, hungry and tired. Well, moving back to my hometown, though, has been making these drives even more tiresome. Like, if I would have left the gym at the time I left it now to go home to my house and went to my apartment, would have been insane the amount of time saved. I would have been probably showered by now if I was driving to my apartment, old apartment, Lake St. Louis. Now you know where my apartment was. But this drive, oh man, it's a different animal, man. 30 minutes can take a toll on you. Because it usually it would probably be like if I from the gym to my house, it would probably only be, if I was on the highway driving the speed I am now the whole time, probably be a 25-minute drive, maybe even less, like a 20 almost. But with the fact I hit traffic multiple times, especially coming straight from the gym, it's a busy area. So the traffic itself around that area is pretty bad. It slows this drive down from going from a 20-minute or from a 25 minute to now it's probably gonna be it's getting close to 30. Probably by the time I pull in, it'll be a 30 something. Oh, but what off topic, back on topic of the lift. We got, after all that, I did hit skull crushers for the program, but then did my extra tricep work afterwards. The one I like to do where I kind of but I come out to the side and I lock my shoulder down and I just focus on that movement from here to the full extension and squeezing that tricep. I couldn't do that one today. Sucked, but couldn't. Because the attachment that I used on that cable was not there. So Instead, we did just a normal like handle for cable handle, and did tricep push down ish extensions from just up here to here all the way down. Look at that tricep. Look at that tumor. So that's what we did for one of the tricep movements, and the other one was so what I see on a video recently was that it's kind of pointless to go and overextend on those triceps. So what I did was I saw the video was that they had it in a set position, and in that set position, and by set position I mean the bar itself, its handles had different hand positions to where you could set yourself up to already be in a push down position. So, and I do a medium grip, so it kind of is like a over exertion after doing the what I would consider a medium grip on the just normal cable handle. Ooh. Ooh. But I'll take the 275 we hit today. You could always get better, but it is what it is. So what I've been doing this block that I'm going to try new is, what I did for the last three was I would hit it as is, like that program, hit the day, that was the day. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the day, hit the bodybuilder lifts afterwards, do the same thing, closer to the end where I'm going to be lifting heavier stuff, I'll be slowly dwindling out, like next week I'll be dwindling out some of the tricep movements, or going at least lighter on them and not going to failure, and then not doing any on the third week. But now for these 4 days, on my Monday, Tuesday lift, I'm going to do the abs Wednesday. And then for the Thursday, Friday lifts, I'm going to do abs Saturday. And then still do arms Sunday. Really focus on peak pump. Peak pump. Hey-o. Oh man, dude. I am feeling it right now. Need to start. I get in bed. Going to sleep is another story, but I mean, getting in bed early. Not really early, but just better than I was. And then going from that to going from my old time where I didn't have to wake up for work till about 6. No, I'd probably say 5:40. I'd probably get up around 5:50ish, 5:55. Now I have to get up a whole 20 minutes earlier so I can get to work on time. Not first world problem. It's not really a big deal. You lose an extra 20 minutes of sleep. Yeah, it's not ideal, but you got to work around it. Life is life. Still making gains, still making progress, so I can't be mad about it. Ooh. But that is pretty much it for me, I would say. Got a deadlifting to do coming up here on that, not tomorrow, but Thursday. That's going to be something. I don't know how that's going to go. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. But on that note, yawn. On that note, I'll see you guys next time. Stay juicy, twinks.